Hello, I'm Shirakawa from ohe. Thank you for having me again today.
So, we've been hearing a lot about how the 2024 problem is affecting everything, right? I'd like to hear more details about how the horse industry, especially horse transport, is being significantly impacted.
That's right. Well, it's not just horse transport. All kinds of shipping across the country, especially long-distance hauling, are being heavily affected. Regarding the horse transport industry specifically for the farms and trainers, as I mentioned before, our withdrawal from Sapporo and Hakodate has made transportation quite difficult. Because they can't move the horses, the trainers themselves are actually cancelling their entries in Sapporo and Hakodate, or rather...
Is that so?
Yeah, exactly. If transport is this difficult, they feel there's no point in trying to move the horses there in the first place. They'll just race where they can, right?
Mostly for JRA races? Not really.
Well, yes, Sapporo and Hakodate are JRA. There's also local Hokkaido racing, but they don't really move from there, basically.
I see. Right. What about...
Interleague races? I think the local trainers are struggling quite a bit too. There's a union that all the Hokkaido transporters belong to, and they act as the main contact point sitting in the middle. They ask us transporters if we can handle the job. In summer or autumn, we might say we can go, but we can only talk in terms of possibilities. It's tough for the people in the middle, right? Since that situation kept continuing, we decided to stop that and have people contact transporters directly. Let's stop having a middleman. I suspect that interleague races have probably plummeted.
The events themselves have plummeted?
I think horses traveling from Hokkaido to regional interleague races have likely plummeted, like to Iwate or the 4 tracks in southern Kanto. In the end, we just can't guarantee it, right? For example, we've raised the rates quite a bit for interleague races. It's actually easier in some ways. We can only load a maximum of 3 horses, so mentally it's easier. But if we do those, we won't be able to transport the JRA horses. If we choose those, well, since it's Hokkaido racing and we're local, we want to help out as much as possible. Until last year, we did what we could whenever possible. But since we asked people to contact each company directly, we probably haven't received a single request. I don't think so. Well, directly.
You mean no direct contact?
Some trainers have probably already given up by now, and while there is one company that can actually take them, if they are not able to keep up, then the others most likely cannot either. Yeah, that seems to be the case.
I see. What do you think is the best possible solution for ohe.
The impact of the 2024 problem is already showing. However, we haven't completely cleared it yet. As you all know, it was quite a while ago, but there was that case with Japan Post. Well, it could happen anywhere. It's possible for any transport company. I think only those in the industry would really understand, but you absolutely need qualified managers. In this long-distance horse transport, both the trucks and the drivers are moving 24 hours a day. Roll calls must be conducted 24 hours a day. We've implemented systems for health checks and alcohol testing, where drivers carry devices so we can monitor them from the head office even when they're far away. But for small and medium-sized businesses, the reality is that proper operation management is often not being done. A 24-hour system means you naturally need at least 3 people just for operation management. Costs will clearly be much higher. 3
times higher? Yes.
Exactly, it'll be at least triple, so...
For typical operation managers, do many of them handle other duties as well? For small
and medium-sized firms, that's almost always the case. In really small ones, the president might be out in the field while also doing roll calls. Originally, the workload for operation and maintenance managers is large enough that you really should have dedicated staff for them. I see. In larger companies, they definitely have people stationed at every branch or base. Well, we've managed to get by so far, and I think we've been doing quite well compared to others in the industry. Yes, but we've definitely been pushing ourselves. Myself and other executives have been doing things like midnight roll calls, or even having retired staff come back to handle the early morning roll calls when the trucks depart. It's just, there's a limit to that.
Even there, you're short-staffed. And now, more problems are piling up, like the driver shortage.
That's true.
There's a shortage everywhere, the population is shrinking, and if you try to hire foreign workers, there are other issues there too. It's
become a battle for talent. Young people today especially look at things like employee benefits and how stable the company's management is. to keep this company and its services going long term, I think we have to keep reaching out to the younger generation. We've raised driver salaries quite a bit in recent years, but the income is probably still lower than people expect. Some people might still have this old image that you can earn a huge amount, but yes, that's just not the case anymore.
Ideally, you'd want to get it back to that level.
That's right. If we don't do that, it'll be difficult to secure a stable workforce and, well, for instance, our headquarters is in Shizunai, Shinhidaka town, but Hidaka itself isn't well known and it's quite rural and inconvenient, so young people tend to avoid it. But in terms of nature and abundance, there are definitely some young people today who are drawn to those qualities, and those are the ones who come here, not just to our company, but to the horse farms as well. That's likely the case. In the horse industry,
if we want to improve conditions across the board, the flow of money is definitely the biggest factor. While my father was growing this company, we were by no means a wealthy family. Even so, maybe because of his influence, I never really felt a strong desire for money. Even when I was working part-time or after graduating, I never thought about joining a place just because. The hourly wage was high. If I could do what I wanted to do, what I wanted to try, then I felt that as a result of my work there, if I was recognized, the compensation would follow. That's all I thought. However, it's true that most people are motivated by income. Our drivers tell me that too. It ultimately comes down to whether they can earn enough. It's also discussed on TV, not just for long haul, but drivers will quickly move if they can earn more elsewhere. So It is one of the benchmarks, isn't it? Right?
Exactly. So right now, we haven't fully resolved everything regarding that 2024 problem. Well, as we aim for 100% compliance, we've taken some measures, but it's still not enough. Costs are still insufficient, so we're in a situation where we have to raise our prices. Our initial projection was a 30% annual reduction in transport volume, including Sapporo and Hakodate. That was the plan, but now that we've withdrawn from Sapporo and Hakodate, we're facing a situation where we have to cut volume by 30% on Honshu routes alone. This goes back to why we withdrew from the Sapporo-Hakodate routes. Even if we have to reduce volume, we must clear this hurdle. A Hokkaido transport company like ours is quite small in scale. If we are penalized and suddenly can't transport anything, the impact is completely different than if we announce we have to reduce volume and then do so. So, to avoid sudden disruptions, I've concluded that we must aim for full compliance. Other companies in the industry might not follow suit, and there's a high chance only our company will implement another significant price hike. Well, that's the only way, I think. That's my current answer. Just because we've raised our rates doesn't mean our profits are increasing. We're reducing our operations and giving back to our employees. So as a company, our profits haven't really changed much. Thinking long term, we need to build up our company's strength. Even if we're the largest in scale, we're pursuing service quality over profit margins. Because of that, we've been investing in our vehicles and such. From what I've heard, we're probably the least profitable company out there. But, since we are the largest in scale, I'm fully aware that we're the one company that absolutely cannot afford to stop. If we
receive a business suspension order, it means there's even a possibility that horse racing itself couldn't happen.
That's right. Depending on the timing, there's a real possibility that holding horse races could become difficult, and if our license were suspended, then as a company, we'd have no choice but to go out of business.
It's a razor-thin margin, isn't it?
Right now, yes. So we really have no choice but to clear those hurdles. Even if some others in the industry say, we've managed so far, so this is fine as it is. If there are companies like that, well, that's for the customers to decide, but I want them to know that it comes with risks. In the end, we have to prioritize the customers we've had long-term relationships with. To be honest, if things go south over there and they come to us, we'll likely be in a situation where we can't help. At that point, for those who have always relied on us, we won't be able to handle everything on our own. They'll most likely have to increase their additional requests to potentially other companies they haven't worked with before. Even for risk hedging, I feel it's probably better to have relationships with various providers. As for...
Few horse transporters exist.
That's also true. There are overwhelmingly few of us. I think current horse owners, especially the younger ones, don't really know the horse transport industry. They probably think it works like a standard delivery service. I think many people feel that way, like why can't you transport them? The fact that there are so few companies actually transporting horses now is something that's just not well known. Aside from race transport, I only know of 9 companies, including ours, that operate officially with green plates. I don't know what others in the industry think, but as for me, I'd like to see more new entries into this industry. That would certainly create competition, which leads to better service and positive outcomes for customers. However, and this might be a topic for another time, we also need to talk about just how difficult that actually is.
Thank you for sharing so much with us. Thank
you very much. At Ohe we are looking for drivers. Please check out our recruitment site or corporate site in the description. And if you're interested, we'd love for you to apply.